Membership websites are really powerful. They can allow you to earn an income online. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a membership website from scratch. And if you have a business idea or you like to add all your content on the website and protect it and make people buy it, that's what I'm going to show you in today's video. Coming up. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mac, and in today's video I'm going to show you step by step how to create a membership website from scratch. Now let me show you quickly what we'll be creating. Now a lot is going to go into this, so you really need to watch this video from start to end in order for you to create your own membership website. All right, so over here we have the main landing page. So this is the page that people come to when they come to your membership website. So here is where you would add your main message. It's very important that you let people know what your membership website is about, and this is the area that you may want to do that. And here we have a call to action, and this is where people can click to become a member. And as I scroll through here, we also have a bit of information about what the membership website is about and any other information that you may need to showcase. So over here now, we also have more information. We also have a video here that you can click, and this will show even more information. All right, so down here on the bottom, I also show you how to create this footer. Now this footer here normally does not come with any page builder. You would have to create it yourself. So I also go into detail and show you how to create these footers. Now back over here to the top, let's see what happens when I click become a member. So when I click here, it's going to take us to a basic page where you can make your payment. And this is also known as a checkout page. So as you can see here, you can add your name, last name, and once you fill in this form, and if you have a coupon code, of course, you can add it over here, click apply, and then you can proceed to PayPal. And once you make a payment, this is going to take you to a thank you page. Now, this page, as you can see, is built using Divi, which means we can add any elements that we need here. We can add testimonials like what I've done here. You can also add videos. You can add so much stuff. Let me show you the other pages that we have here that I show you how to put together. We also have an about page. Now, this is the about page where you can go in and talk about yourself, your services, what you do, your experience, and so on. So again, I've tried to make this as basic as possible just so that you can see how easy it is to put your content together. So if I scroll down here, you can see we can add our information there. We also have a contact page. Now this contact page is for your members to be able to contact you. And this is basic form. And there's also some frequently asked questions. Now these are also important, so people don't really have to keep sending you emails because your FAQs already covers that. Okay, finally, we have our login. Now this is where the page where all our members are going to log in, and it's a simple page which has the username part and the password, and pretty much this is how they log in to get all your content. Now, as you can see here, I've pretty much covered quite a lot of stuff. This is a basic website. It's not a design project, but I want to show you how on your existing website you can add all these features and make your website into a membership website. But of course, if you're brand new, you can also use the techniques I'm using here to build a brand new membership website. Now, I also run my own membership website. In fact, I have VIP membership on my website, and this is what I am using on my website. Now, before we get started, I'd like to talk about a few things. I'm going to be using a few tools here that makes this process very easy. First of all, I'll be using a page builder called Divi. Now, this is paid, of course, but if you buy it using my affiliate link, I am going to give you a full course that teaches you how to use Divi and how to create professional looking websites. So this course comes absolutely free, only if you buy Divi using my affiliate link. The next plugin that we're going to be using is called Wishlist Member. Now, Wishlist Member is also a powerful plugin that allows us to protect the content on our website. Now, this is what makes the membership website work. Now, again, I have a link to this in the video description below. If you buy it using my affiliate link, you also get access to the course that teaches you how to create membership websites and how to use Wishlist Member. Because as you can imagine, I cannot pretty much cover everything in one video. So these are the videos that will help you get up and running. And if there's any other features you may need to add, you can go ahead and add that. Finally, we're going to be using WooCommerce. This is free. Cutflows, the version that we're going to be using here is also free. So these are the tools that we're going to be using to design our website. So make sure you use the URLs that I've added in the video description below. They are my affiliate links. Now, if you use those, send me an email and I'll let you access all my courses that comes with these bonuses. All right, guys, enough talking. Let's dive in and let's build our membership website. All right, so this is my basic WordPress website. There's nothing on it. As you can see, I've just installed WordPress and that's it. So if I scroll down here, nothing, no pages. So we are going to start working on this from scratch. So the first thing we need to do is to talk about the plugin that controls our website content. And this is Wishlist Member. And over here, this is their main landing page. And as you can see here, this is trusted by over 100,000 customers and it's powering over 100,000 membership websites. So it's a very solid platform and I use it on my own website and it's been out there for a very long time. So it is very, very solid. Okay, so I've gone ahead and downloaded Wishlist Member. So back over here, let me just show you how to do it. So I'm just going to log in and go to my dashboard. So to upload the plugin, after you've downloaded it from the Wishlist Member website, you want to come over here to plugins and then click on add new. Click upload plugin, choose file, and then you want to navigate to where this plugin was downloaded on your computer. Usually it's the downloads folder. So here it is. If you just click on that, click open, and then click install now. You can also activate it that way. And once it's activated, you're going to see this entry here called Wishlist Member. And this is where you'd go in and set up your membership levels. But we're not going to do that yet. Okay. All right. So now that we have Wishlist Member installed, the next part now is to install our page builder. Of course, we can use our basic WordPress builder, but it is very limited in features and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles to help you design your website fast and make it look beautiful. So we're going to download Divi. So I'm going to come over here. Now this is Elegant Themes. And by the way, they have a summer discount. It's 20% off. And if you go there right now, you will be able to see this. But of course, if you're watching this after the sale is over, still it is a good buy. And I would go ahead and purchase Divi. All right. So I have already gone ahead and I have a license. So this is my members area. So you're going to see this once you've logged in, and this is where you'd come in and download your theme. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see here it's being downloaded. After that, you want to come over here to your account. And this is where you want to look for API keys and copy your API key, because you're going to need this, because the API key is very important, because this is what allows you to get updates as Divi produces new features. And also it gives you the ability to use the pre-made layouts, which are just basic layouts, which allow you to create these membership websites easily. Okay, so now with that, I am going to copy my API key, which is right here. So I've just copied it. So back here on my website, it's now time to install Divi. So I'm going to come over here to Appearance, click on Themes, and then I'm going to click on Add New. Next, I'm going to click Upload Theme, because remember, we downloaded it onto our computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Choose File. Here it is. Click Open, Install Now. Now, you may have noticed that it says Divi 3. That's just because I've downloaded Divi 3 times. So don't think that you are running an older version or a version which is out of date. Okay, so now I'm going to click Activate. So sometimes you may think, okay, Divi is activated, so it's all good. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and use it. Yes, you can, but I would recommend that you go ahead and add your API key before you even start designing your website. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to come all the way down here. Now you see this entry here, which says Divi. So this is where you would go to the theme options. You want to go to updates, add your username, and then paste your API key that we copied from the dashboard. So now that I've added my API key, I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Changes. So everything now is all saved, and you've just seen this check mark, which means everything is okay. All right, so the next step now is to set up our homepage, because currently by default, WordPress sets your main page as your blog page. So this is not what we want. We want the home page to be the main page. So let's go ahead and do that. So back over here now, I'm going to create a page. Click on Add New here, and we're just going to name this Home, and then we're going to add the other pages later. Okay, so I'm just going to close this, and let's name our page Home, and then click on Publish. Okay, so our home page has been published. The next page we need to create is the contact page. So let's go ahead and do that. So to add your pages, you can just come over here to Pages and then click on Add New. So let's add our contact page. Again, I'm going to publish it. Now notice that I'm just publishing here. I'm going to add all the contents of this pages later. Okay, so that's my contact page. And I'm just going to go back here to WordPress. The next page is going to be the about page. So the about page is also important because this is where you can talk about your membership. Okay, so I'm just going to add about. Again, I'm going to publish it. So I think I'm okay for now. If I need to add any more pages, I will add them later on. Okay, so back over here now to our dashboard. Now we need to assign our home page. So I'm going to come over here to settings, click on reading. So as you can see here, by default, our home page is set to display latest posts. So we want to set this to a static page, which is going to be our home page. Click on save pages and pretty much we're good now. We now have a home page set up. So every time people come to our website, they are going to see a home page. Great. So moving on, this is the time now to fix our menu. Now, before I fix the menu, I just want to show you what this looks like. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab so you can see what the page looks like. So as you can see here, it has all the pages here on the top. We don't want to do that. We want to go in and control what the menu shows. So I'm going to come back over here and click on appearance, menus. So this is where now I can go in and create my own menu, and we're going to call this main menu. Next, we're going to make this a primary menu and then click on create new. Now that we have a menu, the next step now is to add our pages to the menu. So this is now where we can select specific pages to add to the menu. So I've just selected here. In fact, you know what? Let's view all. I want to see all the pages. So I'm going to go to a home, about, contact. So these are the main ones that I really need to add for now. So now I can click on add to menu. So now all my pages are added onto the menu. Okay, that's looking great. I'm going to save the menu, and back over here now on our site, we need to design our homepage, our main landing page. But what we're going to do is we are going to save a lot of time here by using pre-made layouts, because sometimes building everything from scratch takes a very, very long time. So let's do it this way. Okay, so let me show you how to do it. So over here now, on all pages, we can target the home page because this is the one that we need to work on. So I'm going to click here on edit with Divi. So because we're starting to use Divi for the first time, you're going to get this welcome, and it also takes you through a tour. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and start building right away. Okay, so here we have these three options to design our website. So we can clone an existing page, choose a pre-made layout, or we can build from scratch. So most cases I build from scratch, but I want to show you an easy way. This will save you a lot of time. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come over here to choose pre-made. Okay, so these are, I would say, pages that you can use as a package to build your website. So as you can see, we have this restaurant layout pack, we have the agency layout pack. So there's quite a lot here to choose from. So you can scroll through these, and also you can come over here and pretty much filter through, like by just choosing here technology, for example. This will show you all the layout packs for the technology websites. Okay, so you can see here some of these are actually very, very nice, and we could use some of these. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to just go through all of these and just see what visually attracts me. So I'm going to keep going here. So if I see something that really attracts me, that's the one I'm going to go with. All right, so here I've landed on this Life Coach layout pack. I think this is a really good one, and this could work with our scenario. So let's just keep this in mind. So this is the Life Coach layout pack. Now we also have another one here, which could be very interesting. This is a language school. So since our membership site is pretty much more on the consulting or even teaching, just giving out information, I think this could work very well as well. So let's keep going. Oh, and we also have a yoga instructor here. So this layout pack could work as well. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go with the yoga instructor layout pack. So I'm going to go ahead now, select it, and I'm going to now go through these pages and see which one is going to work as our home page. So as you can see here, you can have a quick preview of the home page here, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and click on use this layout. So this now is going to install all the assets that I need in order for me to build my page. So here we go. This is our page. Okay, so that's looking great. We're going to go in and delete stuff we don't need and add stuff we need. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at this, the next step now is to save the page. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. So what you may want to do is to go to the other pages that we created and add these layouts on those pages. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to go and add a layout onto the contact page. So here we have the contact page. Next, you want to click on edit with Divi Builder. So this is going to open up the builder as we did before. Click on choose pre-made layout. And now here on the pre-made layouts, because we know this is yoga, it's much easier for us to just search for yoga, and this will now bring the 14 layouts. So here we are looking for a specific one. We want the contacts, okay? Because this is the contact page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, use this layout. So now all the contents of the layout are going to be added onto my contact page. Okay, I can see there my check mark. Everything is looking good. I need to save this page as well, like that. Great. So now that I have the contact page all set, you can do this to the rest of the pages, or you can do it as you're building the website. So this is how quickly you can go in and choose these pages. Okay, so now it's time to work on our site. So I'm just going to go to the home page and start building from there. So this is our main home page. So I'm looking at this background and I think this background doesn't really work. So now it's time for me to go in and remove stuff that I don't need and add stuff that I need. So I'm going to click Enable Builder. So the first thing I'm going to do is to come over here to my section settings. I'm going to snap this to the left and go to my background. So this is the color, or this is the pattern that we have here on the background, and it's added as an image. So you can just delete it. And now you can see here that that pattern is gone. So that's how easy it is to go in and just remove stuff you don't need on your website. Now, if you want to change colors, you can always come over here and play around with the colors. So there we go. We can just add the colors that we need, but I'm going to keep this very subtle. So I'm going to go ahead and add that and save. Now here you can see we have this image, which pretty much gives us an idea of what this website is about. So this is where you would add your image. Now there's a website I go to for images and it's called Pixabay, and sometimes I use Unsplash. So let's go to Unsplash. So let's say our website is about counseling. So let's start by looking for images that could work for our project. So I'm going to say talking and see what comes up. So this one here looks quite good. I like this one too. So you can see here I'm having ideas of images that I can add. I mean, I like this one too. This one here is great. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of images that I can choose from. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go with the one that I think works best. So let's go with this one here. So I'm going to click on it, and then over here, I'm going to click on download. And as you can see, it's being downloaded now to my computer, which is great. Back over here now, I want to replace this image here. So I'm going to click here and click anywhere around this area, making sure upload file is selected. Click on select files. Now this is going to go to my downloads folder where I can upload my image. Okay, so now that I've uploaded my image, all I have to do now is to click upload an image, and my image is now added onto my website. So all I have to do now is to save. And there we go. I've added now my image, and that looks good. Okay, now over here, we can change our title for our website. So I'm going to call this Become Positive, Change Your Life. Okay, so that's going to be our title here. So as you can see, it's way too big. So we can now go into a design, heading text, and let's target this by coming over here to this brush tool. So this is now on heading 1. So I can go in now and reduce my size. So I'm going to bring it down here to about 48. And I think that looks great. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to save. So become positive, change your life. And then this could be a description of what your membership website is about. And then here we have this button, our call to action button, which says book a class for free. Now, before I talk about that, I can see here we have this design, this line over here. To be honest, I don't really like that. So I'm going to go in and delete it. And now all I have is just my button. Now I want to go in as well and just realign it and make it align to the left. So now I need to find out how I can align this. And there we go. It's aligned to the right here. All I have to do is align it to the left. Now, I'm not too bothered about the color here. I think everything is fine. Next, I'm going to come back over here, and where it says book a class, I'm just going to say become a member. Okay, so that's looking great. Become a member. Next, over here, this is where you'd like to add your link to the page where they can become a member. Okay, so I'm going to go in and just add a blank link. I'm going to revisit this page and fix that. Okay, so now that I have this is looking really, really great. And this is where now we can go in and readjust this and rename stuff. So I'm going to say sessions and reduce the size as well. So I'm going to come over here to my heading text, making sure I target my font here, which is H2. I'm just going to reduce this to about 42 and save. Now, this is where we can add some content if we need to, but if you don't have any content to add here, you can just leave it as it is. So I can see here there's quite a lot going on. I'm going to delete that, and let me see what else I can delete. I mean, the times here are fine, but we are not going to do this based on time. So we're going to delete this whole section. I like this video here, this video area here. This is great. I'm going to leave that. And then continuing on, I am going to get rid of this one here as well. Too much information. Okay, so this call to action here is great, but we don't need that too. And this is going to be our footer. So what I'm going to do at some point is show you how to quickly go in and add our footer, because right now we have this ugly footer. It doesn't look great. So we are going to change this and build it up from this one here. Okay, so now that I have this all set, the next step now is to just come over here and go into my background and delete this and add a solid color. So here, I'm just going to make it a very dark gray, or right about there. I think that works fine. I'm going to save that. And for my content here, I think it's okay with the video being in here. Okay, we have a dummy video. That's fine. But maybe we may want to go with with a lighter color here, because I want all the text to be easier to read. Okay, let's go back to white. Great. So now that I have this, and as you can see, I'm making decisions as I'm building this, and this is what you may want to do as you're building your websites. Okay. All right. So now that I have that, pretty much I am almost done designing my page here. Now these sessions here, let me go in and make some adjustments. This part here, to be honest, I don't need it. I'm going to get rid of it like that. And this now can be part which describes the sessions. Okay, so let's go and look for another image here. So let's go back, and I'm going to go with this one here. I really like this. I'm going to click download. Now back over here, I'm going to replace this. So I'm going to go into this image, settings, delete this one here, and then add another image, upload files. And remember, I've downloaded my image to my computer. Click open. Okay, so I'm going to click upload an image, and now you can see my image has been added, and now I can save. The color here doesn't look great. I'm going to go in and change that color. Go to my background here, and I'm just going to first of all delete this image and then add my color. So let me start with colors here. So let me go with something like this. Now I've intentionally chosen this color here because I want to show you how to make things look great when you change your colors. All right, so I'm going to save this. And now, as you can see, this text here is not easy to read. So let's go in and change the color of the text by coming over here to design. Then making sure you click on this little brush tool. We can change this to white, save. And now I can come to this text as well. Go into design. I'm going to start with the title here and change this to white. Go to the paragraph text. Now this, I need to reduce this a little bit like that. And then finally, we have this text over here as well. I almost missed it, by the way. So I'm going to go in, and we also want to change this color here to a lighter color. Okay, that hasn't worked. So come over here to, oh, in fact, you know what? It's a button. So let's go ahead and make our customizations here. So I'm going to go in and add white, and this is a button, as you can see. All right, so I'm going to save that. So pretty much this part is done now. If I wanted, I could add more information here by just duplicating this and then dragging it over here to the right. And now I've just added more content, but of course we are going to keep this as simple as possible. All right, so now that I have this, we can go in and also change the content of this page here. And right now it looks okay. So I'm going to save this. So that's our home page. Okay. Now, as I'm looking at this page, if we take a look here at the footer, this doesn't look great at all. Now, let me show you how to create a footer, which then applies to the whole website. So I'm going to come back over here to my dashboard, and then we're going to go to Divi. This time we're going to go into the theme builder. So over here in the theme builder, we can just click here on add global footer, add from library. So I'm going to take any layout from the yoga pack. So I'm just going to search for yoga again. Now, this is a really, really cool technique, by the way. And a lot of people don't know that you can actually go in and use footers that are already on these pages. All right, so let's look for our home page. In fact, this could work on any of our yoga pages here. So I'm going to click here on this contact, and this one might not work because of what has happened here. So let's go with this one here. In fact, you know what? These look the same. So I just want to make sure that, okay, so everything looks the same here. I'm going to use this layout. So once you add this layout, it's going to take the whole page as the footer, and that's not what we want, because we want the specific part of this page. So let's go in and start designing this. So I'm going to click here on this little pencil icon to go into our global footer edit. So this is now time to start deleting stuff that we don't need. So all we're going to remain with is the footer. There we go. So we're almost there. Delete that. So this is the part that we're looking for. So now I can go in here, go to the background, delete this image here because we want a solid background. And then over here on the colors, you can decide now what color you want to add for your footer. So I'm going to go really dark here, and I'm going to use this as my main color. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Now, the beauty of this is you can also go in here and delete stuff that you don't need. So let's say, for example, we don't want to get rid of this email here. We can just delete it like that. And then over here, you can delete it like that too. And let's say you want to move things around. You can always go in and move things around and place them where you want. But I want to keep things simple, and I'm just going to leave this as it is because our footer here looks great. So I'm just going to undo this. So now we have our phone number and our email. Now notice what happens when I save this. So I am going to come over here and save, and then I'm going to close out of this, and here is our footer. I'm going to save changes. Now let's go to our home page and let's see what it looks like now. Okay, so this is our home page. I'm going to scroll down here, and when I get to the bottom, this is now our brand new footer, and this was based on this footer that we had from this layout pack. So all we have to do now is to go in and delete this footer that we have here. So I just left it there so that I could just do a comparison. Okay, so now that our page builder is open, I can scroll all the way down here and then just delete this part here that I don't need. So now everything is looking great. Now on the top here, I just want to add a bit more breathing space, to be honest, because it looks like everything is all squashed. Okay, so I'm going to add 100 here, and I'm also going to add the same to the bottom here. Okay, that's looking better. Moving forward, I may want to do this to this section as well. Let's add 100 and activate it. So this one here may also need it. In fact, you know what? All our sections here need to have a padding of 100. All right, great. So now that I have my padding all set and it's applied both to the top and the bottom, this page now is looking much, much better. Okay, so I'm going to save this. So our home page has been designed. Everything is looking good. Now let's move on to the next page. So our next page here is going to be the about page. So I'm going to come over here to about. So I'm going to come over here to about and enable the visual builder. Okay, so again, we're going to build from a pre-made layout. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to search for yoga. Oh, there we go. I've searched for it before. So now let's look for our about page. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, use this layout. So now the contents of the about page are going to be downloaded now onto our page, and then we can go in and customize them to our heart's content. All right, so these are the contents of our page. So I can go in now and change this. So about me is fine. And it's just this little item here that I don't really like. We're going to get rid of it. But before we do that, let's add our image. So again, I'm going to come over here and look for a portrait. So I'm going to search for portraits. Right. So as I'm scrolling through this, I'm just looking for something that I can use for our about. So let's go with this one here. Click on download. And then back over here on the about, I'm going to click here on this gear icon, delete this image, click on this plus button, upload, select files, and on my downloads here, this is where my image is, and I've just uploaded it. All right, so let's add our image. So now our image has been added. I'm going to save this. All right, so this is where now you can go in and add your description, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you want to get rid of this line here, to do that, you can click on this little icon, which shows the layers, and this will now navigate through, pretty much the parts of your site. So I'm going to collapse this, and you can see here that it's showing that row, and this one here is this row. So I'm going to again collapse this, go into the columns. So this is the divider that we need to get rid of. So you can see here when I mouse over it, it highlights the divider there. So let's go ahead and delete it. So the divider is gone. That's looking great. Now let's see what else we can get rid of here. So let's go into this section here, and I can see we have this background pattern here. I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to save that and then move on. We have a button here. That's fine. Now this is where you can go in and also customize all the parts of your membership website. So if you have weekly classes or weekly sessions, you can always go ahead and add them over here. But you know what? I'm going to get rid of this because I don't really need this section here. Delete that. And I'm going to delete this one too, and the footer, because we have this footer already. So this page is pretty much all about the instructor. So this page is about the instructor. So let's keep it like that. Okay, so pretty much I have everything that I need here. Again, I'm going to delete this. I don't need that call to action thingy line scrolling. I'm going to add a bit of padding here or margin and save this page. All right, so everything's looking great now. This is our basic about page. The next step now is to go to the contact page. So let's exit the Visual Builder. We're going to come over here to our contact page. And again, the main thing here is to remove the background. I'm going to leave all this other stuff here. So let's go in and start working on our contact page. So first things first, let's go into our section settings, background, and let's delete this. We're going to save that. And then moving on, the address here is fine. But again, I can see we have this background. And to be honest, let me just get rid of this. Okay, so this is our contact form. And then on the bottom here, we have our FAQ. So we can go in and also add a slightly darker background because we want to distinguish the content on our page. So I'm going to save that. And pretty much we don't need these two sections here. So we have our FAQs and we also have our contact page. Now, let me show you how to go in and make some additions to or additional changes to our section here. So I'm going to come over here. You can see here, this is a single column. So what we need to do here is to add perhaps a 2-column structure. So I'm going to go with 2/3, 1/3. Okay. And then this is where we can go in now and add more information. So let's say you want to add, let's say the address. We're going to go to text here and you can type in your address here. Okay. So let's add a fake address. So, okay. So that's our address. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to highlight this and then make it all bold and save. So you can either choose to have it all here, or if you just want to have a contact form, you can just have a contact form. Because this thing is happening virtually, I don't think there's need for an address. So this is how you would add it if you wanted to. So back over here, I'm just going to go in and go back to the column structure that we had earlier on. Okay, so as I'm looking at this, I can see that there is a gap over here, but this is a design option that you may want to choose. But of course, all these things can be changed if you want to. But as I'm looking at this, I really like how it looks. I think this looks great. Now here on the button, it says join retreat. This is something that you may not want to say on the button, and perhaps you may just want to leave it as contact me. So let's go in and change that. So I'm going to come over here and you can see here the submit button. We can just say contact me. There we go. I'm going to save that, close out of this, and pretty much we are good. All right, so we have our home, about, and contact pages all created. I'm going to click exit the Visual Builder. Now it's time to go in and set our membership levels. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my dashboard. Now, the very first thing I need to do is to create the content that we need to protect, because without the content that we need to protect, it's going to be very difficult for us to go in and assign the restrictions for this content. So let's start by coming over here to posts and then click on categories. So over here on the categories, I'm going to say VIP. So on the slug here, I'm going to call this VIP as well. So you can see now on the bottom here, it says protect this category. So I'm going to say yes, and then add to category. So now I've just added a VIP category and it's also protected, but I haven't gone in and mentioned or assigned who this information is for. Okay, so with that now, the next step now is to create a category. Now this is just going to be like free content. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and just say free. And this time we don't want to protect this. I'm just going to say add to category. And then over here, we can go in and edit. Sometimes I don't like the way that we have this uncategorized category, which doesn't have a name. So I'm just going to call this members. Okay, and click on update. Great. So now I've added my categories. So the next step now is to create all my posts that I need to add onto my website. So the idea here is to have different types of posts, some free, some paid. So for the free stuff, anyone that comes to the website can access this information for free. For the paid stuff, this is where you have to be a member, and this is how we're going to use MemberPress to protect all our paid posts. So let's go ahead and do that. So I want to switch back over here now and go to add new to add our posts. So first of all, let's look for images to add. So for this, I'm going to go to one of my other websites that I use, which is called Pixabay. So let's look for something inspiring. So let's go with winning. So we're going to go with this image here. It's very inspirational. But then again, you know what? I want images that are pretty much the same size. So let me go to orientation here, go to horizontal. And for the size, I can also specify here. So let's go with 1280 by 720. There we go. So now I can choose which images I can use. So let's go with this one here. Download. All right, so I've gone ahead and downloaded all my images that I need. So let's start by adding our posts. So I'm going to call this post 1. So remember, we added our categories earlier on. So what we need to do now is to assign this post to a category. So I'm going to come over here to categories, and I want this to be for VIP members. So I'm going to go ahead and select VIP. And this time we are not using the Divi builder. And the reason why is I'm going to create a template that's going to be applied to all our posts on our website. Okay, so over here, I'm going to go to default editor and I'm going to paste my content here in this area. Okay, so this is where you'd go in and type all your information, and pretty much this is good to go. The next step now is to come back over here to document, and I also want to add a featured image. So I'm going to click here on set featured image, upload files, select files. Now I have a few images here that I've just downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of them and open. So this will just add all the images to my media library, which means I can use these at any time as I'm designing my website. Okay, so the image I'm going to go with here, the first one is, let's go with this one here, set featured image. So now our featured image has been set. So when I scroll down here, now you notice it says unprotected, protected, inherited. We're not going to touch this here yet. So let's go ahead now and publish. So let's say you want to see what this page looks like. You just can click here on view post, opens this in a new tab. But you know what? The design doesn't look great. You can see here, there's no styling to this. So we are going to design and make this look really, really nice. Okay, so with that said now, all you want to do now is to go and add in all your other blog posts. So let's click back here and add a new post. So this one here is going to be post 2. And again, we're going to click here on default editor, paste our content. This time for this content here, I am going to add an image. So I'm going to click on this plus button here and look for my image, media library. And the image I'm going to go with is this one here. Select, and now my image has been added into my page. I can now publish one more time. Okay, so this is looking great. And again, I'm going to view this in a new tab. So this is post number 2. There we go. Great. Right. So back over here, we also need to add another one. So let's add the post number 3. I'm going to click add new. So let's call this VIP post. But of course you want to have better titles for your posts. So back over here, I am going to go in and just add all my text. But this time I'm going to do something different because I need to add a video to this because this is the premium content. This is what we're going to be charging for. So here I'm going to click on this plus button. Now notice we have Divi layout here. So this is where you can add in a layout element. We can add our modules just from that. So I'm going to click here, build a new layout. So I'm going to build from scratch, a single column. And what we're going to add in here is just a video. So I'm going to click here on video. Let's select that. So now I'm going to come over here to overlay. Click here on this plus button to add my image overlay. And the image I'm going to go with is, let's go with this one here. Upload an image. And this is where you'd add your link to your video. So right now you can see we have the basic one that comes with elegant themes. So back over here now, I can play around with my icon. I can change the icon size by just dragging it here, make it smaller. I usually go with 60 pixels. Save that. So pretty much I'm done here. This is my module that I need to add onto my page. So now you can see it has been added and it looks really, really nice. Let's publish this and publish one more time. And if we need to view the post, I'm going to open this in a new tab, and there we go. We have our video. So as I mentioned earlier on, when we look at this, it doesn't really look amazing. You know what I mean? This page doesn't look really amazing. So let me show you how to customize this and make it look awesome. So back over here now, we are going to go all the way down to the theme builder. So I'm going to click here on this plus button, and we need to add a template for all our posts. So I'm going to come over here and select that, create template. So we have our global footer here by default, but we want to add the custom body. Okay, so let's build custom body. So here we're going to build from scratch. We're going to add a single column. And what we need here is the post content. Okay, so I'm going to go in, search for post, and post content now has been selected. All right, so now that I have my post content, pretty much this is what's going to show on my page as I start loading all my content. Next, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a part of the top of my posts to have a nice title and also the image. So I'm going to click here on this plus button here, regular, single column. And in that single column, I'm going to add a text module. Now I'm going to use what are known as dynamic content. So I'm going to click here on this little item, and I'm going to choose post or archive title. Okay, so here on the design, I can make this bigger. So I'm going to go to the text, change the size, make it nice and big. Maybe I might go with 36 here, and we're going to go with white. Next, I'm going to come over here. In fact, you know what? We might as well drag this to the top because we want this over here to the top anyways. So now I can go into the background, and we can either add an image or we can add a solid color. So let's add a solid color. So I'm going to click here on this plus button, and in fact, let's start playing around with our colors. So I'm going to drag this over here. So I'm going to go with that as my main color. Okay, and then over here on the design, I'm going to go to spacing, and we're just going to add a bit of padding here. So I want to start with 3VW and then just nudge it a little bit. Okay, so let's start with 6. There we go. So this is going to be our title for our blog post, and then all the content is going to show over here. All right, so I'm going to save this, close out of here, save changes. Now, remember, this is the layout that we had before, and if I refresh this, we now have a new design. So now we have this design we've just created in the theme builder, and this is really, really awesome. You can see now that everything shows great. So this is how we're pretty much putting together our membership website. So back over here, I can see this would look nicer if I made this bold, this title bold. So I'm going to come over here, click on design, text, and let's make this bold. There we go. So that looks much better now. I'm going to save and save one more time. So now if I refresh this page, you can see now all our posts here, titles are going to be bold. Now you may be thinking, well, how does this know that this post is called post 1 or post 2 or such and such? Now this is because this is dynamic content, and this will change automatically. So this is post 1. Remember, if I refresh this, we now have post 1. And this was the basic one, which only had the text. This one here has the image, and then the VIP post. Remember, the VIP post had the video. If I refresh this and scroll up, you can see now that we have our beautiful video here, and then we have our content. Okay, so now that we have all the elements that we need on our site, it's time now to go and add all our membership levels. But because this is a paid membership site, we need to find a way to connect our product on our website and find a way to make people buy it on our website. So I'm going to come over here to plugins, go to add new. Now the plugin that I like using to control my payment processes on my website is WooCommerce. It's free and it works really, really well with wishlist members. So let's go ahead and install WooCommerce. So here we go, and here it is. I'm gonna click install now. All right, so now that we have it installed, the next part is to activate it. This also comes with an onboarding process. So you know what? I don't really like using these. I'm just going to say not right now, and I'll run the setup wizard later on. Okay, so I'm going to skip wizard here, and pretty much we have WooCommerce installed. Now with WooCommerce, I just want to show you the main items you want to go in and make sure you set up. So I'm going to come over here and go to settings. So here on settings, you want to make sure you add your payment gateways. You can add quite a lot here, and this is why WooCommerce is really, really powerful. So you can see here we have PayPal. So I'm just going to deactivate this, save changes. And if you have Stripe, you can also add Stripe here as a way to collect payments on your website. And as I mentioned before, this is what I use on my website. Okay, so we've set up our payment gateway. The next part here is to set up our product. So I am going to scroll down here to products, click on add new, and our main product here is the VIP membership. There we go. We set the price. So our price here is going to be, let's say, $97 a month. So this is virtual. And now we can go ahead and publish. So we have a product, and now it's time to set up the membership levels on wishlist member. So I'm going to come over here to wishlist member and then click on dashboard. So this again is telling us to run a wizard, but as I mentioned before, I don't like running wizards. I pretty much like doing everything manually. So next I'm going to come over here to setup. So this is where now we can start adding our membership levels. So I'm going to click here on this plus button and I can now name my membership level. So I'm going to call this VIP. Okay. Click apply. So over here, we have the restrictions. You can allow both existing and new members. I'm going to leave this as it is. You can also set up if email notifications to let you know once someone has signed up for this, but I'm going to leave this for now. Okay, so now that we have our membership level here, the next step is to go to integrations. This is where now you're going to make wishlist member work with WooCommerce, and this is very, very important. Okay, so you can see here by default Stripe is activated. We can just go in and deactivate it because our Stripe is going to be included in WooCommerce. All right, so now on our payment providers, we need to look for WooCommerce. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here and here it is. I'm going to select it, activate it. Now here it says link product. Now this is very important. We want that when someone buys the VIP membership, they get added to the VIP membership level automatically. So this is where now we can link our product, choose product, and here's our VIP membership that we created earlier on in WooCommerce. So then access here is VIP level. So now I can save this and pretty much this has been merged and this is fantastic. All right, so now that I have this all merged, we're not done yet because we also still need to go in and make sure that the content is protected. So we're going to come over here to content protection, and these are the posts. Remember, these are the posts that we created, and the VIP post here, you can see it is open, but we don't want to do it per post because if we do it per post, it's too much work. If you then protect all this content based on the category, it makes it much easier. So let's go to the categories here. So I'm going to come over here to categories, and these are the categories that we created earlier on, remember? So the one that we need to protect here is the VIP, and you can see here members is protected, but there is no membership levels assigned. So this is where now I can now choose this one here to unlock it, lock it if I wanted to. But the most important thing is I want to go in and assign the membership levels. So I'm going to click here on add levels, select membership levels. So I want the VIP because this is the paid one, add to level. Okay. So now we have VIP here as a category added to the VIP level. So that means anyone that tries to access the VIP category, all the content in the VIP category will not have access. Okay, great. I hope that is easy to understand. Okay, so now that we have this all set, pretty much we're good to go. But we also need to create the page where people go in and make the payment, and also how to log in. Okay, so back over here now on our dashboard, let's create our sales page. So I'm going to come over here, click on add new. So let's call this sales page, use Divi builder. Okay, so we're going to build from scratch. We're going to have one column here. Okay, so pretty much I've added a blank page. I haven't added any information in here. I'm going to come back to this page and populate it. Okay, so now that I've created my sales page, I'm going to save this and exit the visual builder. Okay, great. Back over here on the dashboard, we also need a login page because without the login page, people won't know where to log in and access this information. So let's come over here to pages, click on add new, and let's call this login. Now, before I can go in and create this login page, first of all, I'm going to come over here to use default editor, and I want to search for my classic editor here. So over here, I want to search for my classic editor. So I'm going to click here on add block, search for classic. Now, the reason why I'm coming all the way here to my classic editor is because I want to access this wishlist member item here. So the shortcode is what I really want here. Okay. So we have registration forms here. which is the main page that people need to go to and register. Okay, it's very important that we create this registration form. And also on our merge codes here, we also have a login form. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you can see this is the code that we need for our login form. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then now I can use the Divi builder to go in and create our page. So I'm going to edit with the builder. So I'm going to click on start building. Okay, so this is where our shortcode is. And if we take a look at this page, without logging in, you are going to see a form here. Okay, but before we do that, let's just add some text. And I'm just going to say login here. Okay, now let's stylize this quickly by coming over here to text. Let's make this bold. Oops. We're going to come over here and make it bold. And let's make it slightly bigger as well. So let's go with about 28. We're going to save this. Then drag this to the top. Okay. And we're also going to give this some breathing space. So I'm going to go with 100. Okay, now let's save this page and let's publish it. Now remember, I said when you take a look at this page, while you're not logged in, it shows different content. This is where you would actually see the form. So let's exit the Visual Builder here. And let me show you what it looks like for someone that has not logged in. So I'm going to copy that, File, New Incognito Window, and let's paste this. So there we go. So you can see here we have a form. So this is where all your members would come in and add their username and password and log on to the website and access your content. Okay, so we have the login page. Now we may also want to get back over here now to our menu, because as you can see, the menu does not have our login page. So I'm going to come back over here now to Appearance, Menus. So here on the menus, I want to add this login page to the menu. There we go. And this is the last item on our page, which is great. So now I'm going to hit save. Okay. So now that we have our login page, we have our contacts page, let's now go in and just make sure that so now that we have all our pages all set, the next part now is to go in and create the page which then sells this membership. Okay, so when it comes to creating sales pages, I like using cart flows. It really creates beautiful sales pages. So I'm going to come now over here to my plugins, click on add new, and we're going to search for cart flows and set it all up. So over here on search, I'm going to search for cart flows, and here it is. I'm going to click install now and then activate it. Next, I am going to come over here to my settings for cart flows. And this is where you want to choose your page builder. So in this case, we have Divi. I'm going to save that. And now I need to come over here to Divi, click on theme options, and then you want to go to builder and activate steps, save changes. Okay, so now that I've gone in and I've made those two adjustments, pretty much we are ready to go in and set up our sales page. All right. So by the way, cart flows works really well with WooCommerce. Okay. So now let's head over to cart flows. So the entry is also here. We can now go to home, and this, I mean, you can watch this video if you wanted to, but the main thing is to come over here to flows, and this is where we can add our first flow. So the flow is pretty much a basic funnel where you can have a sales page and then a thank you page. So I'm going to click on add new. It comes here with some free templates that you can use. But in our case, I'm just going to create something very, very basic, because otherwise I'll have to go in here and delete all the sections that I don't need. So I'm going to click here on create your own, design your flow. Okay, so there we go. So now we have a sales page and the checkout page and the thank you page. Now we don't really need a sales page in this case here. We just want to go straight to the checkout page. So we can come over here now and delete. And then over here now, let's call this sales page. So that's going to be our flow. Right. So you can see straight away, it says no product assigned. Let's save this first. Okay. So it's saved. Now let's assign a product to this. So I'm going to click here on edit. So what we're going to do now is to come all the way down here and click on select product. And remember, our product is VIP. I'm going to select that. Now this is going to bring the price and all the elements that we set up in WooCommerce. So now I can hit update. Great. So now that I've updated this is where now we can go in and start designing this page, which is our sales page. So on the shortcodes here, what you could also do is just copy this shortcode, because this is the shortcode that has all the content that we need for our sales page. So now I can come over here to edit with the Divi builder. So I am going to build this from scratch, and I'm going to start here with a single column. So this column here is going to have our main heading. So I'm going to search for my text module, selected. So let's call this the checkout. Okay, so let's set this to heading 1. Come over here to design, heading text. We're going to center this. We're going to make it slightly bigger. Okay, and save. Next, we also need to add another module, and this can be a code module, which then has that shortcode that I copied earlier on. Now, if we take a look at this right away, it's not going to have any information here because I haven't really gone onto the checkout page. So I'm going to save that. Now we can stylize this by adding testimonials. We can add videos. We can add quite a lot of stuff here on this page. So let's go ahead and add another section here, and pretty much let's have 3. Okay, so testimonial. I'm going to select that. So we're going to add 3 testimonials. So the first thing I need to do here is to adjust my text here, because we don't want too much text here on the testimonial. And so let's call this Anna. On the image here, we can choose our image, because right now it's blank. And let's use this image. I know we used it earlier on, but this is just a demo demonstration. So I'm going to use that as my testimonial. And we want to get rid of this. But to get rid of it, you want to come over here to elements and remove the quote. Okay, so that's looking great now. I'm going to save. And what you can do now is to duplicate this a few times, drag this into position like that, and then drag this one here into position. Now notice that all this stuff that I'm doing is very powerful, because you could not really do this with WooCommerce, and this is why we are using Cutflows to really customize our sales pages. All right, so now that I have this, as I mentioned before, you can add videos, you can add quite a lot of stuff here. I'm going to save this page and exit the Visual Builder. Okay, great. Now take a look at this. You can see now that people can come to this page, see all this information here, testimonials. They can also add all their information here. And this is the product, VIP, blah, blah, blah. And if they have a coupon code, you can add the coupon code here. And because I set up PayPal, this is the PayPal address that we can use to take us to the payment processor. Okay, so that's looking great. As you can see here, this design here is not what we normally have on our site. So I'm going to go in and edit step. Right over here on post attributes, if you don't want to have that box layout, this is where you'd come in and choose template for page builders. Once you've done that, you click update. And now let's take a look at this page. There we go. So now we have a full layout, and this is what we're familiar with. And as I mentioned before, we can go in here and make even further customizations, but we're going to keep things very, very simple here. All right. So we have our checkout page. Now this checkout page comes with a thank you page. So you may also want to go back here over here to your steps and customize your thank you page as well. And on that thank you page, you can use the Divi builder, and the Divi builder will allow you to add even more elements to that thank you page. So back over here now, I'm going to click leave and go back into sales page. And you can see here, this is our thank you page. I can go in and edit it. And this is where I can add my thank you message. If I need to add a video, I can add it on there and so on. All right, so we're not going to go in and edit the thank you page because that is pretty much straightforward. This will be done automatically. Once someone buys here, they'll be taken to the thank you page once the transaction is done. Remember, on the home page, we have a button that needs to take us to the payment page. All right, so we are going to now go to the home page and add our link to make sure everything works together. All right, so this is become a member. We're going to click enable visual builder here. And then over here on the button, we're going to go in and click on link. And this is where I'm going to paste my link to my sales page. So I'm going to save this. Save one more time. Okay, so that's looking great. I'm going to save and exit. All right, so pretty much we have all the elements that we need for our membership website. We've created the home page. We've created the contact page. We've also created the page which users can go and make a payment, which is pretty much the sales page. So all our pages are now in. Let's take a look and see how this final thing all comes together. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this URL and open this in a incognito window. So I'm going to come over here, file, new incognito window. All right, so now if I click here on become a member, this should take us to our sales page. And this is where we can enter our name, last name, blah, 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 make a payment to this. And then once you make a payment, you'll be redirected to the page where you can go in and enroll for the VIP membership. So pretty much this is how it works. It's very, very easy to set up. And if you already have an existing website, this is how you can turn it into a membership website and make a lot of money. And because we're using WooCommerce, it also has a dashboard which shows you how your website is performing in terms of sales. All right, guys, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.